I do wonder though, so obviously we have 15 to 18 in the card draw right now. Do we have 19s in the card draw, do you know? I'm actually not sure if we have 19s in the card draw. I'm going to take a quick look for you guys, chat, see if those are going to be entering the card draw or not.
In the meantime, we have Miligram and Vivian setting up. This should also be a pretty exciting match. Like, both of them have been putting up strong performances. Yeah. I think Miligram was one of the folks promoted from Pool 7.
He was, yes.
Yeah.
It was him and BOGO that promoted from Pool 7, and they both put on a fantastic run.
So, we have the draw. Ooh, PARANOiA-Respect is our starter.
All right, good pick from Vivian. And then we have Miligram protecting NGO Challenge. A very interesting pick. And then a tiebreaker, if it comes down to it, will be Cosy Catastrophe Expert.
Are they playing?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they know the order of the song.
Oh, okay. The card draw is out of order.
Okay, so NGO will be our first song.
All right. Yep, a classic tournament pick, especially pre-World.
Yes. So this has come up a couple times over the last couple days. And I mentioned it, I think most times it's come up, but I'll mention it here as well because it could come into play. But NGO has had its sync changed pretty significantly on DDR World, to the point where going back and playing it now on Ace2O Plus, it's going to feel very different if you have since played it on DDR World. So whether or not it's going to affect either of those players, I don't know. I don't know if they played it with the new sync and if that's going to bother them at all. But the song is historically late normally.
Yes,
it has been moved to a much earlier sync, but that's not going to apply here since we're on Ace2O Plus.
Yeah, this is a great example of a chart where the sync actually is off enough that you are fighting, trying to hit late with executing the chart, and you know, they may make it look effortless. We don't know yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them bleeding perfects just here and there as the patterns get harder and harder.
Yes, absolutely. Both of them playing it on the regular old turn mod, no left, right, or shuffle. I know sometimes you see that as a strat on the song, which means the ending run's gonna have a lot of crossovers in it. Okay, so right now let's just post it in chat. The 19s have a 5% chance of coming up in the finals only. So that'd be loser's final, winner's final, and grand finals. So we won't see any potential 19s until then. But we've seen plenty of 18s thus far.
Yeah.
And this has been no exception.
Vivian again showing that like high risk, high reward, minimal gameplay. She's gotten a couple misses, but she's still quite a bit ahead just on MA.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's very dialed in. Up by quite a bit right now. Looks like over almost 30-40 EX over Miligram. There's not a lot of notes in this song for an 18. But it's really going to come down to the ending run, which has the vast majority of notes.
Yeah, you know, it's never over till it's over, but here, most of the EX score is in the back third. Fourth? Really?
Right. It's all very backloaded. Looks like Miligram took a few missing frames before this run.
This is brutal turning work, but they're doing a great job of following along.
Yeah, very beautiful turn work from you both, but Vivian's going to take that one with a pretty solid lead.
All right, so Vivian wins that on the power of her precision. That's such a brutal chart.
It really is.
Even if it were perfectly on sync, doing that jump, step, jump at that BPM is...
It's really hard. Very, very awkward footing.
Yeah, this will be kind of a cakewalk in comparison, but it's... Yeah.
I would say the song is, it shouldn't be too tricky for these players at this level, but definitely has some tricky runs with these freeze arrows, which are more of a mental gimmick. We kind of talked about that earlier on with another song that came up. Definitely can throw you off if you're not used to it, but I imagine at this level, neither one of these players are going to be tripped up by that.
It's worth noting that the sync on this song is also especially wonky. Telperian had put together this tool, Final Offset, and you can see that the sync actually shifts, I think, from late to early, and then resets on each stop.
Oh, okay.
Like they eyeballed the BPM in each segment and then just did it again at the next section.
So definitely adding some extra challenge to this chart.
Tied through this section. Great job.
Yeah, PARANOiA-Respecting, the only PARANOiA remixed by Soda Fujimori. We just recently saw PARANOiA Revolution, which was remixed by Tag. PARANOiA has been remixed quite a lot throughout the DDR series. But it looks like Vivian is not far behind Miligram right now. Miligram with a very slight lead.
Yeah, he's doing fantastically with keeping up that precision on these runs.
Okay, he's only up by about 10 EX or so we'll see if he can hold on to it throughout these little crossover runs.
Very clean on the crossovers, too. All right, one of our first little helicopter runs.
That is a good way to put it. I do feel like your legs are like helicopters. I just noticed Vivian is playing this on Mirror. Miligram still has about a 15 to 20 EX lead over Vivian.
All right. Here we go into the ending. All these freeze arrows are just for show, little distractions. Very good. They both knew to reset footing for that last
Very
one.
clean.
Wow.
Wow.
Incredible.
Very awesome run. Some very excited yelling from Milligram's side.
Shoutouts to Eagles.
Look, they actually had the identical Marvelous count between the two of them. Miligram just won that by not having anything less than a perfect.
Yeah. Just the sheer consistency that he's been showing.
Absolutely. And he came out of pools to do this, so he is coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, you love to see it. It's always exciting to follow folks as they keep going upward.
Absolutely. All right, so now we're moving to another tricky 16. This one has a lot of speed changes in it. It's very whippy. A lot of crossovers at 180 BPM you have to be ready for.
And of course, those slow sections that'll test your reading or pattern memory.
Yeah, very crisp steps from them both.
Pad Mike doing a lot of work for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful to listen to. Here's our first slow down. Vivian picking up a great there early on, but not too far behind. Okay, Miligram off by less than 10 right now. Here's some of those crossovers. You really got to be whipping your hips back and forth to hit some of those.
Yeah. A couple times now, Vivian caught him a little bit on MA and then just got one more miss.
Yeah,
So
Milligram's not really giving up much to catch up to.
holding that combo is doing a lot of work for him at this difficulty.
Absolutely. So he's still up by about 10 EX or so. Very close. A lot can happen in the back half of this chart.
We're through a lot of the trickiest stuff, but the ending is no slouch.
Still holding on to about that 10 EX lead or so. Not really giving any room for Vivian to catch up. A little bit more of a lead getting pulled through on Milligram's side. Oh, and that's another PFC
one
from Miligram.
Wow. He's on fire right now.
I think those the shorts he's got on with the little fire decals on them are definitely lighting a fire under his bow, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Really, really good performance from them both. Really clean having two back-to-back 16 PFCs in a tournament too. That's very, very awesome to see.
Wow. Great job. Both of them. Like, Vivian's MA is so scary, but sometimes PA will get you by in a pinch.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very awesome match from them both.
Wow. The room is buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, I think everyone's just like staring in disbelief. Like this is just such an incredible display of skill and performance.
Oh yeah, Miligram doing a little bit of a celebration lap. Well deserved.
Absolutely. All right, so there's a quick look at our brackets. We have looks like probably CelAnima and BOGO coming up next. But really close. A lot of matches that went 2-1, which I mean these have been really close. I mean, no blowouts. I mean, even we saw Blue Buster went 2-0 over Miligram, and then you saw Miligram just come back right now, winning 2-1 over Vivian. So there's a lot of skill in this top 8.
Yeah, it's always a delight seeing these close matches, but especially at this skill level, it's, not something that you're likely to see if you just drop by your local arcade.
Not at all.
We have to hunt quite a while to get people in one place
Right.
for this level of tournament. You got Eastern PA, you got Missouri, you got New York.
Yeah, we do have quite a wide variety of players from all over the country. I'm taking a quick look through here. Obviously, a lot of people from the Northeast. I don't quite have a stat from everybody that's here today, but someone down from Orlando, Florida, from St. Louis, Missouri, just from all over the place.
Yeah. And of course, I'm visiting from Seattle.
And you know what? I think you actually win. You win from furthest travel distance to come to this tournament this weekend.
Yeah, worth it though. Got
Absolutely.
some Seitan wings.
Yeah, glad to have you here. Good to see you again and chat here on commentary. It's been awesome to watch your matches.
Yeah.
All around good times.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
Been such a delight getting to chat with you on the mic too.
I know, it's great. I love doing commentary with people because even if it's somebody you know already that you've talked to, it's just a different way to connect with them and bond over something that you both love. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and my first stint on the mic was yesterday night actually. So it really tuned me into how much fun it is to be this engaged with what is going on and to try and find ways to discuss it and shine the spotlight on the players where they're doing really well and hopefully be enjoyable to the audience.
Absolutely.
Have a little bit of fun ourselves. Do a little bit for the game.
Absolutely. And you know what? Everybody, I think, should try to take some part in any tournament at any level at some point if they can, whether it's taking a round of commentary, trying to help out. If you know somebody running a tournament, ask if there's something you can do if you want to get involved in the scene, because the only other way we're going to have more tournaments is by having more people interested in learning what needs to be done. There's only so many people in this community, and if you want these events to keep happening, we need people familiar with what to do to run them.
Hold on a sec. Might have a Kana mix-up. Night of Nights? Oh.
Yeah, so we're having a little bit of mix-up between what was reported to us in the card draw and what the players are looking to play. So give us a moment while we get this sorted out. We might have gotten the wrong card draw sent to us. Okay, so apparently we just had a little bit of mix-up looking at the katakana and accidentally picking the wrong song. It was supposed to be Haunted Maid Lunch and not Night of Nights.
All right.
So give us a moment while we get that sorted out for you guys.
Yeah. Shout out to Serena for wrangling the card drawer.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be doing Night of Nights challenge, another face challenge, and then I Love You. So we'll get everything kind of updated for you in a moment. But that seems to be the order that we're playing this in. All right, so Haunted Maid Lunch, 17. This is kind of just jumps right into a very front-loaded chart, actually. Kind of has some 16 those stream like right off the bat, and then it lets up for a little bit, and then you actually have a really long dead space in the middle.
Yeah, it's one of those charts that depending on who you ask, is kind of a borderline 18 just because of the stamina demand.
Yes. And it's just going to jump right into it with the very first step.
Love to open a song with a 16th run.
Yeah, it's also a really hard song to start off with if you have gone cold, you haven't been up there for a while. But both these players look like they've, it hasn't been too long since they played, so they didn't have any trouble starting with that.
All right. So far, BOGO's clean execution has done him some favors here. About 20, 30 EX ahead.
Yeah, very clean from both of them. Like I said, BOGO kind of just made an early lead there for himself, and he's going to do his best to hold on to that, not give up any ground to CelAnima.
Both of them doing the crossovers like they're supposed
like
to.
Like they
should. We love to see it. Good work.
Okay. BOGO picked up a miss there, but still has quite a large lead right now over CelAnima.
Oh, dropped the combo there.
Okay, here's it. Both players sitting down on the pad and jokingly taking a break during this very extended section without any notes. All right back to it.
And welcome back. We're here in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so BOGO's still up by 45 EX or so. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he should be able to hold on to that lead.
He's widening it just bit by bit from the clean MA on these step jumps.
All right, BOGO's going to take a win on the first song.
Well done.
Like I said, it's so hard to just dial in right off the bat with that song with it just starting with those 16th note runs.
Yeah, that's such a brutal first
opening.
song.
Okay, another phase challenge. This one is CelAnima's pick. Has a pretty... Actually, they have a better PFC on the challenge chart than they do the expert chart, which is very interesting.
Yeah, 28 perfects on this is incredible, especially, there's shock arrow discourse to be had.
Yes. So the shock arrow window was changed in GDR World to be much smaller. But we aren't playing on GDR World, we're playing on Ace2O Plus. So this is the original shock arrow window, which is rather large, and a lot of people have had difficulty with certain charts. This is a pretty notable shock arrow chart that I think has given some people problems. So CelAnima, being their pick, seems to be pretty comfortable with this. We'll see if that can continue on into the match. Very clean run.
Yeah. This chart is especially brutal, having the shock arrows just 16ths before and after arrows.
It's so hard because back on the original shock arrow window, there was more, it triggered more on the early side, so you really have to get off that yellow note so early to not trigger that shock arrow.
Yeah, just anecdotally, it feels like you have to hit the pad once to hit the arrow. If you hit the pad a second time, you will trigger that shock.
Yes, definitely. But CelAnima looking very comfortable with this, has a pretty good lead, about 10 EX or so over BOGO.
Yeah, these comfort picks have been working out great for CelAnima so far.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely one of those charts. If you have good shock tech, then this is a good one to keep in your back pocket. Okay, CelAnima still up.
A little more than 10. Now, mind you, that hitting a single shock will cost 3 EX, which is a big deal
Definitely.
with a margin this small. So it's on a knife's edge the whole way through.
Yeah, both of them looking really good with this chart. Lots of great tech execution. Oh, and there's BOGO hitting that first shock, second shock. CelAnima with a very comfortable lead now, and he's going to take it.
Yep.
Very clean run, and a PFC on that in a tournament on Ace2O Plus.
And an
20 perfect PFC.
that.
That's an up score.
Up score on this version. Chat says 6 perfects on Ace 3.
Wow.
So clearly it's a comfort pick, and it paid off.
Absolutely. Very good pick for CelAnima.
Just Beautiful technique, getting those gallops back to the center off the shock.
Very beautiful technique. All right, so we're 1-1 going into the tiebreaker, which is I Love You. This is kind of a little bit of a stamina screening 16, a lot of crossovers in it. So a combination of kind of like stamina light plus tech with the crossovers. I don't imagine either one of these players are going to have an issue with that. They seem to be pretty well versed in both those departments. So it's going to be really close. And as we can see by their scores, they do have very close scores on this.
It's interesting to see the vetoes here because, you know, you can argue for vetoing 17s as a good call just for preserving stamina, but, you know, what does this say about how they're feeling about this match?
Sure, absolutely. But they did pick arguably the hardest 17 of the 3 that were available to them. But that does seem to fit right in line with BOGO's pick, seeing that that was his protect.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Tiebreaker on I Love You. Same read speed, same mods, completely equal footing.
It's a pretty long song. It has quite a lot of notes for a 16. I wouldn't say it reaches the 700 note mark. So definitely one of those ones where you really can't lose your focus on it. But CelAnima picking up a rate pretty early on there. Otherwise, they are neck and neck. BOGO only up by 2 at this point.
And again, at this skill level, when they're playing 16s, chances are that you're mostly looking to just shave off perfects where you can.
Absolutely. This is definitely going to be another MA battle. Okay, I mentioned we're going to see some pretty clean crossover work from the 2 of them. I know you can't really see that too much on the cams, but they are executing pretty flawlessly from what I can see.
It's always such a delight to see people executing crossovers the same way at the same time.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Very close. BOGO just has a very slight lead over Cel right now. BOGO only up by 3 halfway through. Very clean box runs. BOGO up only by 5 now. Does not look like he's giving anything for CelAnima to grab onto to catch up.
And a gold combo coming into this.
Oh,
Wow.
and BOGO's going to take that.
Nice
10EX lead.
Beautiful. Great work.
19
Nice.
perfect PFC. Hell of a good job.
No problem.
Got some chanting for BOGO. Big Matt just handed him a balloon, a heart-shaped balloon on a stick that says I love you. Very thematic for the song they just played.
Love to see it. It's a lively crowd. We like to see a little crowd
Absolutely.
interaction. You know, there's a right amount, but we are consistently hitting it.
Yes, definitely. A lot of respect from the crowd. Nobody's doing anything distracting during the matches. Everyone's just getting real hype
Yeah.
as it comes to the end of the song. So
It was just a very quiet whip on Silver Dream earlier.
yes, which our
in
players
the background, out of their view.
right. Although we did have I think it was a Malky or lose their hat during that part because they were a little too into it, but it's still fun. Everyone's enjoying themselves today.
Yeah. It's a strange energy. Like, I think most of us are a little sleep deprived, but really feeding off just the vibes in the room. And
Oh, sure. I mean, it wouldn't be a tournament if we weren't sleep deprived. I feel like that's part of the tournament experience.